The IPL is the biggest cricketing league in the world, and so that it's competing with the American sports like NFL, the Super Bowl, and football leagues like the Bundesliga, Premier League, and La Liga in terms of finances. But how do players and teams get money of this cash rich league? Well, since the IPL is so big, their teams and players also get paid well. But how do they get paid well? Does Mitchell Stark take all his 24.75 crores home, or do the franchisees take a bit part of it? Or how do teams who finish last actually benefit by earning money? So that's what we're going to see today in this video. Welcome back to the channel.
It's time for us.
So, in the IPL auctions for the 2024 season, all the 10 teams combinedly spent 230.45 crores and 72 players were bought in, and out of which 72 were 30 were overseas, and that included Mitchell Stark and Pat Cummins. So, do the players walk away with all their money? Well, they do. So, the sum that the player is bought for becomes the player's salary. Taxes are worked out accordingly. There are no other claimants for the salary money. The amount is the players alone. The amount will not go to the team. Only the player will receive the money. All salaries are per season. So if a player is bought for 10 crores, say, he is paid that amount for only one season's appearance. So in case it's a 3-year contract, he will be paid 30 crores. So if this was a mega auction and Stark was bought for 24.75 crores, then he would get 24.75 crores each season provided he plays for KKR. So, in 2008, when the IPL began, the bidding amounts and salaries were in US dollars. At the time, the exchange rate was fixed at 40 rupees per US dollar. But in 2012, they shifted to the Indian national rupee currency. So, say if a player is bought on a 3-year contract and then retained for the next season, when there's no auction coming up, there is a contract extension at the same price as the salary that was being paid earlier. This can differ from case to case in case the team wants to give the player a raise while negotiating contract extension. Usually, players are retained with salary hikes. If a player is available for the full season, he will be paid the full amount irrespective of the number of matches he has been played or been selected for. If a player has to pull out due to injury before a season begins, the franchise is not required to pay the player. So, for example, Mark Wood pulled out of IPL this year, so he is not required LS is not required to play Mark Wood. However, if the player is available only for a fixed number of matches in a season and not the full season, he is paid on pro rata basis, usually along with the 10% retainer. That includes for English cricketers like Josh Butler, Sam Curran, Johnny Bairstow, who have left for England for the national duties. And if a player wants to be released before his contract expires, he can ask the franchise to do so. If the team chooses to release a player before the contract is up, they will have to pay the player for the full term which he was contracted. So, if this was a mega auction this year and Mitchell Stark, let's say he went for 25 crores to make it easier, and he wanted to be released next year, KKR would have to pay 75 crores to release him. That is the full amount. That is if he was signed on a 3-year contract. But this year he signed only on a 1-year contract. So there's that. Or if a player is injured during the tournament, the franchisee have to cover the medical expense of the treatment. But teams like Mumbai Indians have gone out and have covered the injury expenses for the players like Jofra Archer in off season as well, but they released him this year. But not all franchise pay player salary in one go. That is another crucial question that everyone asks. How do franchise pay their players? How stacked the salary payment for players is depends on how cash rich the franchise is and how the sponsorship money is coming in. Some franchises pay their players the full amount together all in one go. Cash rich franchises have known to hand out checks to players at the first team camp before the start of the tournament. Some might decide to pay 50% before the tournament and 50% during the tournament. Some might follow 15-65-20 formula, whereby players get 15% of the salary a week before the tournament starts, 65% of the sum or during the tournament, and remaining 20% with a stipulated time after the tournament ends. This is how players are being paid in IPL, but how are teams getting paid? Well, that's another question. Well, today Lucknow Super Giants take on the Mumbai Indians, and many of this considered as a dead rubber. But in IPL, there is no dead rubbers. Yes, the regulations set by the BCCI, which designates a final league standing payment for each season for franchises, which is distributed based on number of league points accrued by each team. As per the franchise agreement, this article is from CricBus. The league points are awarded according to the team's final standings in the points table before the playoffs. The last place team receives 1 point, and subsequent teams earn one additional point for each position up the table. So if you finish ninth, you get 2 points. If you finish eighth, you get three, so on and so forth. Besides the fee differential, teams are also driven by the desire to evade the inequality of finishing at the bottom of the table. So no match in IPL is considered as a driver due to financial and other probably for pride. So I hope you understood how teams and IPL pay their players and teams. So if you like this, please subscribe and don't forget to like the video and share this with your friends. And until a good video, this